Hey, welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk. I am your host.
In the world is happening
and
right
I am
now.
hosting today.
Who's the host?
Our great boss Tony. He has been hit by a truck, metaphorically speaking.
Influenza truck. Blech.
Yes, the influenza truck, and so everyone is staying away from him, except his cats. Anyway, we are limping through with me as the host. Lando's not even here because he got talking to a coach. Whatever, I don't know.
He said he's going to join. You could just, you know what? I'll do Lando's intro.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
You just,
And on the lower bottom there, we got Lando.
Hey, I'm Mickey Mouse Landau, and I like baseball. You can follow me someplace. I'm the creator of the In-Between, blah, 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 toot my own horn. That's it.
I thought he was here.
That was amazing.
yeah.
Thanks, Lando. I loved it and hated it, just like the real Lando. And Owen.
Hey. Completely different person here. Owen. You can follow me on Blue Sky. You got to look me up though, because I don't remember what my handle is right now. So
don't follow him on Blue
It's
Sky
been a-
'cause he does nothing.
it's been a rough day. I don't really have
You say that every day.
it. I know. You're not wrong. If every
If
day's
it's
an
a-
emergency, then no day is an emergency.
right. So you don't have rough days. You have days.
I have days. That's what it is. It's days. What if I do have a rough day?
How would you know it?
I'd be dead, I think.
Okay.
Don't have a rough day then.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Tony. Tony's next. Also having a rough day.
Oh man, rough 4 days. I feel like crap.
You've had this for 4 days?
I started feeling sick a little bit Friday night, and I thought, oh, my body's
Oh,
just
no.
sore because I worked out really hard at the gym
Oh,
on Thursday.
I get that.
I was like, it was a really tough workout. That's all it is. Then Saturday came around, and I was like, I'm not really feeling any
Something's
better.
not right. Yeah.
And then Saturday night, I was just like, oh yeah, this is the influenza for sure. And it's just gone downhill from there.
Oh, it can't get
And-
worse. Oh, just got worse. Dang it.
Oh, and we have a host.
did
His
not.
name's Jaron.
Hey, I am Jaron. I am the host for today. Thank you guys.
We already introed you, Lando.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
You're good
perfect.
to go.
Yeah, we did. All right. We got an email.
I like those.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
going to
no.
read it.
Am I supposed to do the Patreon names? at
Yeah,
the
are
end?
we
I can't do
shuffling
it.
things?
I'll do the Patreon name.
Okay.
Oh, Jaron's just going to do the whole
You're
thing.
sick.
Thanks, Jaron.
You're a good cousin, Jaron.
Yeah, no problem. All right, got an email from Johnny Ringo, and this is in reference to Owen's story during the In-Between last week.
No,
we
that's
don't-
in between email. In between email.
No,
No.
What's their spoiler? Is there spoilers in it?
No
Have you read
this
it?
would
No.
inspire people to listen to the
Yep.
In-Between.
This
last
is
Okay,
week.
then
this
do
is
it. Go
an
for it.
ad.
Yes. All right, so it appears Johnny was eating breakfast at the time. So he says, I had to force myself to keep eating breakfast during Owen's story because I assume he was spitting food out or whatever. Scrambled eggs and hash browns with ketchup and hot sauce. It was an unfortunate series of events that made it so I couldn't prevent it. Thanks.
Yep.
That's
I-
a spit
you
your
know
food
what?
out story.
Yep.
You know, I like the last part of that sentence there. It says I couldn't prevent it because that's kind of how I felt.
Jeez.
You know, just could.
No. The thing about going to the bathroom, you can prevent it.
Well, we're giving away too much of the story here.
Here's
In
the
between
thing,
content.
Jaron. Here's the
Your
thing,
parents
Jaron.
teach you this between
You can't.
ages
Let me
0
let me
and
let me
5.
tell you something about ADHD though. Everybody has a limit. Every creature has a limit, and I pushed right up to that. Maybe a
Oh,
little
you know
past.
what?
Pushed,
I have a
pushed past.
story. I have a story I can share in the
Oh.
in-between.
Okay, good.
Oh.
That just reminded me of it. Wow.
I'm looking forward to
Okay.
this.
Unlocked.
We got
old
Tony on.
memory.
I've been getting those a lot. As I get older, I get to deal with those. Not great. Super not great.
All right, let's. We never did the email jingle
Oh,
thing.
my bad.
All right,
Huzzah.
well, that's the only email we had, so we'll do it. We did it at the end.
We still got it.
Better
Yeah,
late
still
than
got it.
never.
You guys knew.
It's there. Yep. Better late than never.
All right, let's launch into our stories. Frankly, I think we're gonna try to keep it kind of fast moving today, so Tony doesn't kill over.
Let's not kill Tony.
No,
I want to
we're not
stay
gonna
alive.
kill Tony.
Try to get some sleep tonight.
All right,
yeah, you
Owen.
gotta take some meds.
I took double dose NyQuil last night. Did not help.
Did not get
Did not
double
help.
dose.
Double dose.
See, buddy, you're still in that age where you get to take NyQuil. I have kids, and so I don't feel like I can take NyQuil because then if something happened, I wouldn't be awake for it.
It
and
did
so-
nothing
I feel
for
that.
me. Nothing.
And so I've
Quadruple dose.
I had
I might.
I have a bottle of NyQuil that I've taken on. It's like an emergency break glass, and sometimes I just look at it longingly, like, "Hey, old friend."
Oh,
I'm-
I do NyQuil every time I'm sick like that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What about kids stuff? Your wife just takes care of it.
No, our kids take care of themselves.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I got
Teach them good principles, and they'll take care of themselves.
I need to do a firmware update or something. I don't know. Anyway, you want me to do a story? Is that what you're?
Yeah. So, 2 days ago was probably the greatest holiday known to man. Star Wars Day. May the Fourth be
Yeah.
with you.
Oh
Better than
man.
Christmas?
You don't
So
like
I don't
Revenge
think
of the
so.
Sith?
here's the thing. So, May the 4th used to be kind of a everybody put it on Facebook, and everybody just went nerd, and it was kind of like this little bit of an inside joke. People didn't get it. Like the people who got it, but now that Disney got a hold of Star Wars,
Monetized it.
it's now my headline here is May the 4th Consumer Edition. So they've got here's what's going on. So they've got tons of stuff that they dropped officially on the Disney Plus for Star Wars for May the 4th. They released a celebrity video on YouTube. On YouTube, they released a celebrity video. Disney Plus released Tales of the Underworld, a 6-part animated series of bounty hunters across the empire.
Yeah.
And Friday, the first 2 episodes began streaming in Fortnite, a special early premiere on the Star Wars Watch Party Island.
Ugh.
And
Star Wars Watch Party Island.
yeah, and
Yeah, but this is the kind of stuff that's going to keep Star Wars going for the younger generations.
I know
You
it's
know?
bringing it into their zeitgeist, but still,
this is what they need to do. They got to stop releasing so much crap like Tales of the Underworld. Like, who cares? Who cares about that?
it's just Disney's got to keep churning out
But they shouldn't.
content.
Instead of wasting resources on that crap,
Just
why
do
not?
the movies.
Why not make
them-
a really awesome movie every couple of
Yep.
years?
No,
rather
they
than
can't. They have to meet the. That's the consumerism part that bothers me. Is that they're like, no, we need to squeeze this out while this generation is willing to nostalgically purchase anything
Like,
Star Wars.
Star Wars was freaking legendary in the 90s. Did any
Even-
movies come out in the 90s except for 1999? And
No.
Yeah, and then Starbucks is even getting its own line of Star Wars themed mugs. I just don't. Anyway, May the 4th happened, and I didn't even post about it. To be honest, I didn't even.
It's
I didn't
full
even-
of rampant
it was too-
consumerism.
Yep, it was. It's too.
it's based on the
Star
most
Wars.
consumer property out there. So.
Yeah.
The only one that's bigger is Pokemon.
What? Are you serious?
Fair enough.
Pokemon's the largest IP in the world. Look it up.
Do you think that's from Pokemon Go? Do you think that
But that's
revitalized that?
Factor, Yeah.
Dude, I watched
That's really
these guys.
depressing to me.
Let me tell you something. I watched a video clip on TikTok that I've never seen before, and it was this guy validating Pokemon cards. And I watched one, and of course the algorithm force-fed me 3 more hours of it. And there's a big business about getting Pokemon cards and then sending them to this company to have them actually graded, and then they send them back sealed. And
That's
like,
not just Pokemon cards. That's all.
it's
trading
all
cards.
it's all trading cards, but like particularly for this generation, Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Let me put this into context for you. It is the largest IP in the world, with an estimated revenue of $98.9 billion.
Who owns? Does Niantic own most of that, or does Nintendo have a stake in that?
Niantic, first of all, doesn't own any of it anymore because
They
they sold it to the
sold
Saudis.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But theirs was a fraction. And then the next one down, Mickey Mouse and Friends from Disney,
Pokemon beats-
61 billion, so it beats it by almost 50%.
Whoa!
Wow.
Well,
And Nintendo
so
owns all
how
that.
How are these generated? Like a lot of IP balance sheet stuff is just like estimated crap that accountants do.
Yeah, you're good at that though, Jaron.
It's
I'm
what.
sure.
This is
I'm
why I
sure it
used to
works
go to
great.
that website
Yeah.
for mobile apps for
would
in-app
know.
purchases, and you could see Pokemon Go making something like billions of dollars a year just from the in-app purchases there. So,
Well, let's get on to the real meat. I mean, that was, I think, in my opinion, was the most important story of the week.
yeah, we can just kind of,
That's
skim
fine.
the other stuff.
That's fine.
But the second most important is that Apple lost big in
In their court case, right?
in their court case.
To Fortnite.
This
Epic.
was the
Shouldn't this
Epic
be gaming show
versus
news?
no, because that's to do with the App
It
Store.
has to do with Apple App Store.
Yep. So Epic
Fortnite.
tried to sue Apple. Didn't go well for Epic, really. They lost in every regard, except for one little thing where the district judge was like, "Hey, Apple, you need to allow other payment platforms or links out to
Go
the
let
web
devs do that. Yep.
so that you aren't monopolizing a way for developers to pay."
Yep.
And their response was, "Okay, we'll let developers do that, but we're going to put a 27% commission on anything that links out rather than the normal 30%.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Any credit card processor is going to charge you more than 3%. So it was actually a worse deal. And
And they knew it.
years later, because this is how long our justice system takes, the district court judge was not very happy about that. So the district court judge, Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers, said that Apple had engaged in a plan to thwart the injunction's goals and then engaged in an obvious cover-up to prevent that plan from being revealed. She goes on to say that Apple's response strained credulity by charging a 27% commission and new barriers such as full-page scare screens to increase friction for users seeking off-payment alternatives. These moves demonstrated Apple's intent to continue its anti-competitive conduct solely to maintain its revenue stream. So to put that into context, Amazon, they have their own Kindle bookstore, right? How that works is the publisher gets to keep 70% of whatever Amazon sells, and Amazon gets to keep 30%. So no matter how Amazon could use Apple's commission structure in the App Store, they would be making $0 from their own Kindle bookstore. Even if they raise prices to account for Apple's 30%, then the equation changes. The publishers still get to keep 70% of the increased fee, and Apple will still get to keep 30%. So there's no way for Amazon to combat Apple's fees, which is
Well,
Kind of the
didn't
point.
they get around it by having the tokens? You use a
Um,
token.
No, Kindle,
Audible
Kindle just
you
didn't
can.
allow you to buy books on the
Yeah.
app. Period.
I'm thinking
That
of
was
Audible. I'm thinking of Audible. You're right.
Yep. And so that's just a testimony of how Apple's trying to force out the competition, right? So anyway, the judge is like, you guys are, she referred to the district attorney for Northern California to investigate whether criminal contempt proceedings are appropriate. She says that the VP of Finance for Apple lied, like straight out lied in testimony.
Get 'em.
And that terrifies me
Get them.
because he could
That
go to jail.
Pierces the corporate veil there, Jaron, a little bit.
Yeah. And I know a VP of Finance, and I wouldn't want them to go to
You
jail.
just say what you're told, Jaron, and
Yeah, exactly. It's shady crap. And so Epic is trying to flout this as a win for them, and Fortnite's going to immediately go back in the App Store sometime this week. But the judge never said that Apple had to let Fortnite back into the App Store. Tim Sweeney's saying that their Sweden account is still in good standing with Apple, and they're going to publish it through the Sweden account. But Apple doesn't have to let Fortnite back into the App Store, so we'll see if Epic's just grandstanding or
because
not.
they're being
But on the
sued.
flip side of that, didn't the judge-
They're being charged with a contempt, right? Criminal contempt is what the charge is
Yeah.
what she's saying. and they're basically aren't they going trying to kick back to another judge, or they're filing for an appeal, aren't they?
Yeah, they are appealing. Go
I
ahead,
thought I
Orlando.
read somewhere that the judge said that they could do that the apps could now have buttons that link out. And I kind of when I saw another story that the
Yeah.
Kindle store now has links out to buy the books in the Kindle store that Apple can no longer.
Correct. So
that.
this forced Apple to open that up, and a day later, Apple sent an email out to developers saying, "Hey, you can now do this."
Oh yeah.
So immediately, companies are taking advantage. There's now a buy now button on the Kindle app. It takes you out to the web browser to buy the book, and you can go back into Kindle.
I think Spotify already rolled out a new pricing structure based on it.
Amazon did too, right?
New pricing
Amazon
options,
already.
What
I should say.
about YouTube?
I don't know. I'm sure they will. But it's competition. It makes sense. I agree with the judge. This was very anti-competitive.
It's one of the
Big time.
sneakier ways that they've done it with those percentages. The way that they basically incentivize. There's no incentive to go and buy it direct because of their percentages.
So they said that they will ask the San Francisco 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to review the April 30th ruling. Since it's a California court, I don't know if they'll get too much luck. And the Supreme Court declined to hear it back in 2021. So if they lose this appeal, does that mean that they're just cooked?
I
they
think
can't do
that
anymore?
means they're cooked.
Yeah. So interesting times here, and I'm so glad to see this finally open up. It's so annoying that you can't buy a Kindle book on the Kindle app on your phone.
So annoying.
Yeah. So we'll see if Fortnite actually comes back. I have my doubts, but it'd be cool if it did.
I don't play that.
Jaron,
game.
you're the host. You gotta keep the show moving now.
Yep, I was waiting for you to say that. Since you like to speak out of turn, Lando, I'm going to skip your story. Tony!
All right. What am I talking about?
Which one's your favorite?
How much do you love Mountain Dew? Owen?
A lot.
Owen?
Less than I used to because I really don't like Diet Mountain Dew. I really don't.
I can understand that. Yep. So this is tech adjacent because IT people love Mountain Dew. We all know this.
It's a thing.
Why is that a phenomenon?
I don't know. It's just like
I'm a tech person, and I don't like Mountain Dew.
shut up,
Then
Lando.
are you a tech person though? Then are you a tech person? No.
Yes.
Question
I have a
that.
tech
No,
job.
Take that. I know, but take that deeper, Lando.
Most tech people love Mountain Dew.
Okay,
It's
so
true.
I'm in the not quite all.
You're.
category.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Anyway, so if you've been paying attention at all, Mountain Dew has updated or begun the process of updating their logo. It no longer says MTN Dew on the can. It has the full word mountain written out. And it hasn't been that way for decades.
Since the old Mountain Dew bottles, right? Like the.
I think so, yeah.
Is there a
Yeah.
picture of this somewhere?
And
I like this.
Check
as-
the article.
as a result of, I shouldn't say as a result, as an advertising thing to go along with this, they're reaching out on social media to anyone who's been tattooed with the old Mountain Dew logo and offering, people they select from this contest an all expenses paid trip to Las Vegas, where they'll get a new Mountain Dew inspired tattoo from a tattoo studio in there, Mario Barth
That's actually
Starlight
pretty
Tattoo
cool.
Studio.
That's pretty cool.
So they'll let you get your tattoo updated with the new logo.
How
like
you
their
gonna, how you gonna overwrite Mountain
Well,
MTN Dew? Like
it
it's not
doesn't
like you can add
necessarily-
it.
doesn't necessarily have to
So
go
you
over
can get
the
an
old one.
so you can just get a new
an
one.
additional tattoo.
Who wants to
Yeah.
give up the real estate for a new one with
Well,
more
have you
letters?
ever seen tattoo cover-ups, Owen?
Yeah.
Like really, like it's
Some of
pretty
them are
amazing
really
what you
good.
can do
Some
with
of them
tattoo
are, but
cover-ups.
I
Actually,
I like the bad ones. Those ones are the best.
And
yeah.
truth of the matter is, a lot of people that start getting tattoos, they don't ever really stop. They just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so they.
But it's
continue to
limited
get
real
different
estate. That's
tattoos.
what kind of makes it special, right? Like
Well, these
Kinda.
people liked Mountain Dew enough already to get it
oh,
tattooed on their
true.
body.
Maybe
You know
they'll
what
get
I mean?
another one. I think it should at least come with a lifetime supply of Mountain Dew. Like it's free advertising. They're like, hey, you already put Mountain Dew on there before. You want to help us promote this by doing it again for? We'll pay for the tattoo.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think
I have
all expenses paid trip to Las Vegas.
Okay, with
probably worth
5K
something.
with 5K gambling money then. Like
No, I didn't say that.
that's
but,
what they need to do. Like they're
know,
giving
to seal
something
the
up
deal.
forever. I have a soda story that is adjacent to this. Do you guys know what happened to Sierra Mist?
Yes, this is so good.
So
I love this.
you know what
Isn't
it's
that
called now,
called-
right?
Yeah,
Starry.
Starry. Yeah.
So I recently came across this story, and so Sierra Mist, there is an adult film star named Sierra Mist.
Made
with
it
a
big on
C,
OnlyFans.
on OnlyFans, and Pepsi came to her and shut her business down with a cease and desist, trademark
This is where it gets so good.
infringement, and she was pretty pissed, but legally they had a case, whatever. Well, she just kept doing her thing, whatever, rebranded, I guess. I don't know what she did, but Pepsi let the Sierra Mist trademark expire.
Is that why it changed?
And
then she bought it!
She bought it.
Oh, that is
Then she countersued
so
them. Then
good?
she countersued them. Then she sued them and said, "You don't have Sierra Mist anymore. So take it off your bottle. Take it off your
is
cans." And Pepsi had the choice to either be like, because I think she would have sold them the IP for the trademark for a very, very high amount.
some, yeah.
But like retire, like, FU money type of sum. But
FU
they just said, you know what? Nobody drinks this anyway. Let's just rename it Starry. And I had no idea. And I was like, what's the Starry crap? Like, what kind of a name is Starry? Like,
That is a bad name.
it sounds like the Shasta version of Sierra Mist, which my kids really liked. Anyway, so yeah, that was it's like a good comeuppance.
That's a big brain move.
Uno reverse right there.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, you know on Uno. Anyway, there's a side story for you.
All right, Lando, tell us about crispy pigs.
Right, so this last Wednesday to be precise, the FDA has now approved CRISPR-edited pigs for the dinner table. Like, gene-altered pigs are now FDA approved.
And what do these
for
super
human
pigs
consumption.
give us?
What was that?
What do these super pigs give us?
What are they?
So right
clipping
now
in?
they're only doing it for one thing. It's to prevent the PRRS, otherwise known as porcine reproductive and respiratory syndrome. It's a pretty big deal among pigs. It makes them really sick. It makes them so they can't reproduce. And so this gene modification prevents that illness from happening. So it's kind of like a vaccine, but it's gene editing.
We're gonna save you so we can eat you.
Yes, but here's the scary part, right? Is the worry's always been if you edit genes, right? Because you edit the genes once and they get passed down from pig to pig to pig, and then can mutate, and all kinds of weird things can happen.
like first generation's okay, maybe second generation,
Yep,
but you don't know the unraveling as it goes.
exactly. So
Our kids will have
Anyway.
to deal with that, not us.
Yeah, that's a problem for like prototypes.
We already eat genetically modified vegetables and fruit all
Yeah,
the
that's
time.
been fine.
You know.
that's
been
true.
fine.
But this is the first time the FDA's done it for livestock, for
Yes.
animals.
Animals are like vegetables.
So you can expect to start eating gene-edited pigs by 2026 by the earliest. They're also looking to do this for salmon as well, for some other things.
That
I was
PR,
hoping
that
they would
PR.
like make them more fatty or something.
Nope, this is just
The first line is the first line of the article is pretty great though. Who's up for some crispery bacon? Like that's a great play on the words there. That PRS
So-
though is pretty nasty though.
We'll see. Hopefully, this doesn't lead to the horror stories you see in the movies where
Maybe we
you
get
know,
some. Maybe we get some
it just
zombie
goes
pigmen.
bad.
You know,
But
maybe we get to have some zombie pigmen or some piglins. You know,
Well, let's talk about a true hero in today's world.
Tony,
Nope.
No. A dude. I don't know his name, but dude. No, his name is Tim. Tim Freed.
They
He
call
decided
me
to create his own antivenom
Tim.
with
Tim.
his own
Who-
body.
of course it's going to be a guy named Tim. Just
The
some
sorcerer.
wizard.
Yep. Do you know how he created his own antivenom?
probably
Snake
poisoned himself like
antivenom?
an idiot.
Probably getting bit a bunch of times.
He has been injecting himself with snake venom for over 18 years
Whoa.
to gain protection from his
what?
pet snakes.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
18
Yep.
years.
So he's been bitten over 200 times, and scientists they looked at his blood, and they're saying that the antivenom that they can produce from his blood is unparalleled compared to anything else. So they call it unparalleled. This antivenom.
Isn't
Almost
this
like
how
a-
the
Can
guy
they
got
synthesize
around-
it? Can they synthesize it, or they have to use his blood?
Sounds like they can.
Almost
'Cause-
like universal antivenom for snakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Is this what the guy in
okay.
Princess Bride did to like become immune to the poison?
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say he took the Princess Bride method, right?
Yep.
Like he
Yeah.
just
He says,
iocane
We're
powder.
on the same wavelength, Owen.
Yeah.
Right.
It gives you partial or total protection against 18 of 19 species of venomous snakes that were
Oh
tested.
snap! He
dope.
did it with more than one.
Yes.
Dude,
But they
this guy
say that
committed.
the antivenom is ineffective against vipers, so don't
Yeah.
don't
They use.
have a viper.
I think they use.
Oh, that's the one I want to get bit by as a viper.
They
What
use
a
a
bummer.
You
I
got
think
a lot.
vipers use the hematological thing where it breaks down the blood vessels or the blood cells.
Are you making
like-
this up? Because
No.
if you're not, this would be amazing.
No,
No,
I
it's
want you.
like-
I want you to
right.
It's the
verify
type of
this.
venom. It's the
It's-
type of venom that like blows up the blood. Like it causes you to not stop bleeding.
Or is it the other one that coagulates the blood?
Because
'Cause
the other
there's
ones
that
will
one
work on
too.
nerves. Yeah, that's right. I think viper venom does the bleeding.
Freaking Jaren. Owen knows stuff, dude. Like, just believe
I-
him.
Hey,
He
Uh,
knows
his
stuff.
his
That's a
hit
se-
rate's
that's a
like
50%.
20%.
Hey, 50%.
Well, he's at 21% now. Disrupts clotting mechanisms, causing blood
See?
vessel damage and triggering the destruction of red
I
blood
never
cells.
doubted you for a minute.
Owen?
thanks,
Owen.
Lando.
Owen, you're right this one time.
No. Can you say that
Congratulations.
Man,
again?
that
Will you say
qualifier
that
at the
again?
end.
Just really quick there, Jaren. I want to get that clip.
You are right.
Ringtone.
You are the envy of every Dick and Jane out there.
Random facts. I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. I had no idea. I knew I
We know.
I had a good. It was one or the other. It was a 50% chance, and I thought it was vipers that did the
Yeah,
anticoagulant. Anyway, they make you bleed. There's no stopping that. It makes it
That's the same thing that rat
like a
poison
brown
does.
or like a brown recluse where it's like necrosis. Like
That's necrotic.
yeah,
That's,
that.
that's not good.
So a little bit more on this Tim guy. He says, I have a lot of notes in Excel files where I hit these particular windows to where I know I can boost up before a bite. I don't know what boost up before a bite means.
Get
He gives
another
him-
bite before he
gives him-
gets a
no,
bite.
So he
Like,
gives himself a small dose to boost the
it's got to be
to-
that.
yeah, kind of like you do for like a cold, like a vaccination.
Says, I don't just take the bite because I can kill you. I properly boost up and methodically take notes and weigh the venoms out very specifically.
This guy's
Interesting.
I hope this.
Mad man.
Yeah, I hope he's measuring the venom doses, and he's not just like, okay, I've boosted myself now to go get bit by Sam, the black mamba. Like, I don't know.
All right, let's do a lightning round. Owen, you can have two because you got a
Okay.
lot of stories.
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn. Let's see.
Let's do Tony first.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, what is happening?
All right, CPU all-in-one coolers are about to become interesting again because Asetek, if you've heard of them, they manufacture a lot of AIO coolers, and they license out their patent to nearly everyone else that makes coolers because their patent is kind of generic, and
Oh, I
it
see.
covers basically any AIO cooler that has the pump right on top of the CPU, which is most of them, right? Well, their patent expires in a couple of weeks.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And so they're basically, at that point, all these other manufacturers can start to really experiment
Iterate.
and
Yeah.
play around with what they want to do and what they want to accomplish with AIO coolers on CPUs without being worried about being slapped by a patent infringement from Asetek. That patent lasted 20 years.
Wow.
Yep. And so that's why if you think about it, for the last 20 years, almost
They've all
all
been-
AIO coolers look the same
Yeah.
and work the same. There's only a few companies out there that they're slightly different enough that they didn't
that they
infringe on the
eke by.
patent. But then even those ones, Asetek tried to go after. Alpha Cool, EK Water Blocks are a couple of the ones that tried to do their own thing. But now, yeah, a couple weeks, that patent's expired, and we'll start to see some innovation, I think, in the AIO cooler section.
I'm
Very
ready
cool.
now. I'm ready now.
Okay, Alan.
Okay. Number 1, Skype getting shut down this week.
I thought
Finally.
it was already shut down.
Yeah,
honestly.
seriously. I was going to do this whole, like, hey, Skype, we hardly knew ye, but, like, seriously, just die. Like, go, like, you've been teasing it for years. Could you just shuffle
Not
off?
dead yet.
So here's the thing, Owen. Skype's not actually dead. They just moved it into the Teams. The Teams
It has
backend
been
is all built on Skype.
Of course,
Right,
but
it'll
the
cease to
Skype
be a
brand.
separate, it'll cease to
It'll
be a
They had-
be a separate
they-
app, but the
They had
text still
Skype.
lives
They had
on.
Skype for Business. You can still install a executable of Skype. That no longer will be a thing.
Well,
I hated Skype for Business.
let's
Seriously,
talk
it
about
was so bad.
Let's talk about Teams for a second. I've learned this recently. Teams is basically just a gateway to Microsoft's other platforms.
All of them.
Yup.
It uses Outlook for its messaging.
Yup.
It's stored
knew
in a
that.
secret file in Outlook. All your
calendar,
all your messages, all your calendar uses Outlook for its calendar.
Like
Uses-
even the chat.
Yeah. SharePoint.
Yep.
Uses SharePoint for its storage.
Yep. OneDrive.
and
OneDrive.
OneDrive
SharePoint.
as well.
Yeah.
All it
Everything
is
is-
basically it uses Skype for its voice.
Which
Like,
is why.
it's
Which is
just a
why you
gateway
can't
to
really
their-
get it unless you're getting the Microsoft apps for Business because it needs licensing to those other sections in order for it to be used.
Right.
And I hate it. By
so
the way.
think about that the next time you're using Teams. It is just a front for
I just
Microsoft's other stuff.
hate how freaking slow it is.
It's bad.
Like you click on a PDF
It's not intuitive.
and it takes a minute for the PDF to load.
It does sometimes.
No
yeah.
matter on what hardware, it's faster just to hit download and open it up in your own PDF reader, even if you want to look at it just for like half a second. Ugh.
I've opened to 3 or 4 at a time because I think it's not opening.
And then it also
and all of a sudden it just goes bling, 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 bling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the next lightning round is kind of for Tony, but maybe we should save it. Tony, do you want to talk about these 2D chips that China is now engineering because of the tariffs?
Yeah, let's talk about it, man.
So they I want to find the university. It's a university in China, Peking University, right on the nose there. They have they claim, so it's not really founded yet, but they claim to have shattered chip performance limits and proven that China can use new materials to change lanes in the semiconductor race by circumventing silicon-based roadblocks entirely, which is what they've been locked out on, right? So researchers have been led by this professor named Peng Halen. I'm sorry, Peng, if you're listening. I butchered that. He's probably not, but he might be. He said their self-engineered 2D transistor could operate 40% faster than Intel and TSMC's cutting-edge 3 nanometer silicon chips, while consuming 10% less energy. It says this path is born out of necessity due to current sanctions. It also forces researchers to form
I don't believe
fresh
that.
perspectives.
Like
That's the thing is
the sanction, the tariffs haven't been out there
think
for too long. It
well, I
takes
think it's
years
also the
to develop something
sanctions.
like this.
Yeah, true, right? But I think it's also from the sanctions and not just the
Sanctions.
tariffs.
sanctions
Right,
have been
'cause
happening for a long time.
Because we restrict NVIDIA from selling to
Let's
American companies to selling to these other
let's
countries. Right?
let's pump the brakes on this a little bit though, because China has a tendency to say, look at this
Absolutely.
massive innovation we have, and then
Yep.
people start to look into it and they're like, oh, this isn't
Yeah,
like DeepSeek.
DeepSeek was
DeepSeek
the
was supposed
latest.
to change the face of AI, large
Turns
language
out
models.
turns out they shortcutted it from other large language models.
Yeah, it hasn't done
already.
anything
So-
of value really. It is
So-
interesting though that it uses bismuth.
Yeah, so Tom's Hardware talks about it. He's like, Peking's major innovation comes from the two-dimensional nature of their transistors, facilitated by using an element other than silicon. It's got this weird name, but it's called bismuth oxyselenide, and it's a semiconductor material studied for its use in sub-1 nanometer process nodes for years. Larger thanks to its ability to be a 2D semiconductor. It's more flexible, more sturdy at small scale than silicon, and so it runs into reduced carry mobility even at the 10 nanometer 10
I'll believe
nanometer
this.
node.
I'll believe
this
this when I see it shipping
I
in a
know.
product.
Exactly right. This
Even
is
if
a little
it is
bit of a
true,
BS,
it'd still
but,
take
like,
years for it to come
yeah.
out in a real product.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think exactly. And they do this type of stuff to drum up, like you said, investment. To drum up the hype train. Like, hey, look at us. But I think if it is true, which let's give it the benefit of the doubt in this moment, it's kind of that mother is the necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
And it goes the same with competition, right? Like this is why competition is good. This is why innovation is good. I don't know that sanctions are good, but
We can even look at our own homegrown stuff. I remember it must have been 5 years ago. We were talking about GAA circuits, GAA chips, gate all around, which meant they were taking the transistors and
that's right.
making them
Putting
3D basically.
Yeah,
So they had several other points of contact or something. I'm not going to pretend I know how it works, but I don't even think that's shipped yet.
right.
And if it has, it just barely is coming to market. So
Yeah, I don't know who ZME Science, but they add this note: turning laboratory breakthroughs into commercial chips
yeah,
typically takes years, sometimes decades. So this is just kind of one to watch out for. Bismuth oxyselenide. Bismuth is a liquid at room temperature. Is that not right?
no,
Or it has a really low melting point?
I think it does have a low melting point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bismuth, if I remember correctly, it's that really cool mineral or whatever.
I see people make crystals out of it,
yeah,
and
that
shapes
has
out of it.
a really
cubes.
cool like cube or like four-sided pyramid
Yeah.
with lots of
basically
rainbow colors.
The
and
way
everything.
the way that those molecules lock together is usually in 90-degree
yeah,
angles and
It's
stuff, which is
beautiful
pretty rare
stuff.
because nothing usually in nature you don't get a lot of 90-degree.
and you can
type of stuff.
make it yourself. Like you just buy the stuff and boil it, and then it starts to form. Yeah, gate all around transistor tech is supposed to come later this year.
And
So,
it was announced.
it's been
It
like
was
5
announced
years.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we first talked about that. Anyway, that was not a lightning round. I'm sorry, Sharon.
No, it's okay. I forgive you, Owen.
I do not.
All right.
You were late, Lando. You don't
Yeah,
get
you were
to
late.
weigh in
man.
on it.
Nah, fair enough.
Well, I think that's it for this episode. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Lando, can you tell us about Patreon?
You said you were going to do it earlier. I heard you.
No, he's going to
Oh,
do the names.
you want me to tell you about it? I got
Yes.
it. I thought you wanted to read out the names. I'm like, I'm not ready for that at all. Yeah, Patreon's great. This last week we had the in-between. That was the best in-between we've ever had.
I don't know.
I'm going to say it out loud.
Yes, it was.
And you get that for only $1. You get the extra in between, both shows early, ad free. You get access to the super secret Discord, which is freaking dope. Lots of good stuff happening in there.
Both episodes.
And if you're not there, you're
ad-free,
missing out for sure.
a day early.
What?
You get episodes a day early, ad free, right?
Yep, day early, ad free. I said that.
Okay, good then.
Thank you, Owen. I appreciate you. And for $6 more a month, you can get Jaron to say whatever you want. If you want to say, "Hey, Jaron stinks," and have him say it to himself, you could do that. I'm just saying, Jaron, do your thing.
All right. Thank you to David Broshinsky, Interrupting Cow, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, Life is Like a Box of Chocolates. It doesn't last as long if you're fat. And Ben Trash King Jones, which is a new one to our ultra special tier. Thank you guys.
Trash
Hello, Ben.
King.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Fourth Dimension Craft on Instagram for all your laser engraving needs. Another new one. Thank you. Winnie the Pooh and Owen's number 2.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
Yes.
Jason Eatman, seeing Creed at the Olympics was epic. You freaking liar. I hate you. Jaron.best, beat the 8-year-old. Kyle, Chester the Cheeto Commander-in-Chief. Jerry Ga Adimasu, Tony the Excel and Power Apps Nerd, Pyman Graphics, purveyor of fine geeky stickers. Curse Gengar 94, Keslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz. The in-between rating plus 1,000.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the best
That's-
score
Yeah.
we've ever got.
That's the highest score I've ever garnered.
Good job, Owen.
there.
I give it to
Yeah.
you.
Narrow at both ends, wide at the center.
A lot of good references.
Yes, yes.
That's-
DP.
that is a good one.
I want to get stuck in Lang's beard. Wesley,
Oh, don't say
Don't-
it like that.
don't leave chocolate covered pine cones wrapped in your boxers in people's yards.
Yeah.
Stuart
there was
Lloyd,
No
you
pine
try-
cones were involved.
if you try and take a cat apart to see how it works, the first thing you have on your hands is a non-working cat. And finally, yes, Owen, we do care.
Oh,
Thank you guys.
good.
Oh, here's the music.
Okay, thank you guys. Lando, do your thing.
So I just want you guys to know that if you want the best response to your help desk tickets, be sure to bribe your tech guy with a Mountain Dew. Be an end user.